tell me and everybody what's E3 anyways?
Oh, shut up.
What's shaking, YouTuberites? Welcome to the Cover Price Shaker Show for June 5th, baby. Guys, pour yourself a cold one. Get comfortable because tonight's list is fire. Every week is, but tonight's special. So let's kick it off. Spin those ones and twos, baby. Here we go. Love it. Some Thundercats, man. That's amazing. Dude, DJ Skill Spins, man. Shout out to him because his mixes fit so well here with us, man. But anyways, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody catching us live. If you're catching the replay, much love to you as well. Before we kick off the show, let's go around the horn. Say hi to the boys because we've got Gabe and Chris. Gabe, what's up, man?
Yo. What's up, everybody? That is seriously the coolest intro. Of all the intros that we had, even all the TiVo stuff, I think that Thundercats one it's spectacular. Like, that thing is bad. I'm gonna have to be like my intro music when I walk into like a con or something like that. That thing is the best intro ever. But speaking of the best, I got the best two co-hosts here tonight. We got the best comic books to talk about tonight. Of course, we got the best chat. Jeffrey in the chat talking about he's going to Fan Fusion this weekend. So have fun with that, buddy. I can't wait for the local con here in Vegas to come in a couple of weeks. It's con season, Betty White, Betty Boop. I don't know, but let's get ready for that.
Yeah. Who's Betty, Gabe? Tell us who's Betty.
I meant to say Buddy, but Betty came out for some reason.
It's okay. The wife's not watching, so we're okay. But Chris, what's going on, man?
Don't call me Betty. Hey, I'm just happy to be here, man. After all, we got that new DJ in. I hope you guys like what's his name again? DJ what?
DJ Skill Spins.
DJ Skill Spins, right? Yep. Not with the Z or anything crazy like that. No lowercase J.
Oh yeah, no. There's a Z at the spin.
Okay.
That's how you know he's cool.
All right, DJ Skill Spins with a Z. I just want to make sure that I get that right, and I hope that you guys at home are getting that right. We'll make sure that we drop that in the comment section or in the description because announcement. This guy, DJ Skill Spins, is going to be giving us the ones and twos on a weekly basis. Yeah, that's man. Right. And you know what? He's got more stuff than just Thundercats. Although the Thundercats one, there was consensus here. Everybody loves the Thundercats, right? And that just jams. It's a jam. Well, Gabe doesn't count. But
the intro is one of the dopest cartoon intros of all time. But man, that cartoon sucks.
So, Gabe, it's funny you say that because my son...
You sound like somebody who buys comics just for the cover, Gabe.
Yeah. You take that back.
Yeah, you take that back. That's going to kill the guy. But yeah, dude,
That's
it's
borderline
it's funny
racist.
because I was listening to 90s tracks and like cartoons, oldies, 80s and stuff like that in the car with the kids, and my kid loved He-Man and he loved the Thundercats one. And when I showed him the He-Man stuff, he was like, "Wow, this is amazing." I showed him Thundercats and he's like, "Dad, that's a bit weird." I was like, "Okay." Yep, it's what it is.
I'm glad. I'm glad that your son is not a furry. That's a positive in your case. So.
All those 80s cartoons had like the dopest, most hardcore intros, even like He-Man. But the cartoon is just, they're just silly. They're made for kids, right? They're just 30-minute cartoons for toys.
Hey man, you know, I jammed out to the Captain Planet theme song. I've yo-yoed to that.
Oh, yeah, that's dope too. I haven't watched Captain Planet in a while. I don't remember the cartoon. Anyway, we're getting off track.
He's gonna take pollution down to zero. All right.
Yeah, they also don't want you to. They also were very much about depopulation too. So,
guys, you're seeing firsthand why we tend to be late on Thursdays because these are the talks we have even backstage.
You're a tree. You're a tree.
But all right, guys, we're gonna kick off the show. So this list comes from our friends over at Cover Price, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found under exclusive daily shaker list. The list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it every day to review some of the hottest trending books on the market. And to kick it off with shaker number 1, Chris, what do we got?
Speaking of hot trending books, hello nurse. We got shaker number 1, Animaniacs number 10 by DC in 1995. The 1990s were filled with all sorts of top tier animation, from shows geared towards kids to adult themed animation brought on by the massive success of The Simpsons. One of the studios that invested heavily in their animated offerings at this time was the Warner Brothers. In the mid-90s, the studio responsible for Looney Tunes launched their own TV network, the WB, and brought Animaniacs over to the new Saturday morning cartoon block called Kids WB. This show was extremely popular and still holds a special place in the hearts of many Gen Xers who grew up watching it, leading to a reboot of the program in 2020. During its initial run, Warner Brothers had one of their child companies, DC Comics, print an ongoing comic series to go along with the show. Interestingly, the comic series continued for 2 years after the show was canceled, running from 1995 to the year 2000. This week, the 10th issue of this series sold for an all-time high when a CGC 9.8 copy sold on the aftermarket for $200. This doubles its previous all-time high of $100 set just 1 year ago. The classic cover showing Yakko and Wacko drooling over the popular nurse character from the show, while Dot provides some witty input off to the side. Fans of the show will likely agree that this special gratuitous pinup cover is certainly one to keep an eye out for if you grew up with the Warner Brothers siblings running wild on your Saturday morning cartoon. Now, here's a fact, if you didn't know it. The nurse's name is Hello's Nurse. I'm not joking. That's her name. So when they're saying hello, nurse, they're really just saying her name.
Yep. Gabe, you watched this. Come on, don't act like you didn't. You're on mute, sir. You're on mute. Do I have to hit the video?
Damn it.
Push that button.
Not only did I watch this, I love this show. I own all the DVD seasons for it. Yakko, Wacko, Dot, like, I mean, the songs from that show taught me about all the different countries in the world.
Yeah.
Such a good series, dude. This is top-notch stuff. I was a little ignorant on there being a comic book. That's kind of cool. I would like to pick a couple up if I find them in a back issue bin one day.
Yep.
But not for $200. I wonder what's so special about this issue that it's a $200 issue in 9.8.
It's the nurse. It's the Hello Nurse.
Yeah.
That's why it's expensive. It's the same reason why Archie comics with the innuendos on them are popular and sell for a lot of money.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with the story inside.
Yeah, and throw in some nostalgia here because, like you were just saying, Gabe, like me too, man. I grew up watching this. I loved Animaniacs, man. When it would hit, there were so many cartoons I would watch at this point in time too that like I could go on forever. But I think nostalgia does play a bit of a factor here. This is a good buy for $200. Yeah, Gabe, I kind of agree. I kind of agree. It is a top sale. So that being said, guys, Animaniacs, issue number 10 by DC from 1995, had a top sale for a CGC 98 at $200.
Real,
Gabe,
real quick, Lando. I find Animaniacs books in the long boxes, the dollar bins, all the time, but they are always beat to hell. So one of the reasons why this is probably $200 is that 9.8.
yeah, exactly. A bit of what you said, a bit of nostalgia. I think it all plays into it. But Gabe, show us what we got for shaker number 2.
All right, we're going back. We are going way, way back. This is awesome. Green Lantern number 1 from 1941. Green Lantern number 1 from 1941 is the Ground Zero Green Lantern origin story. In it, our soon-to-be first Green Lantern hero, Alan Scott, is the lone survivor of a train crash. He was, in fact, the young engineer. Still holding the train's green lantern, it begins to speak to him, telling him he started as a flame inside a meteor that crashed in China. This is getting weird. A burning metallic green flame emerged with a message. 3 times shall I flame green. First, to bring death. Second, to bring life. Third, to bring power. A Green Lantern was fashioned from the burning metal, first bringing death to those who killed the lantern maker, then life to a man who fashioned a train lantern out of it many years later. By the time the lantern speaks to Scott, it is time for the lantern to bring power. The lantern tells Scott to make a ring out of a part of the lantern, a ring containing its flame. Thus, the Green Lantern hero was born. Man, that Golden Age stuff is always crazy.
Right?
The splash page reads, streaking through the air. Well, put some clothes on, buddy. Walking through walls, immune to all bullets, the Green Lantern is a formidable foe of any man who is foolish enough to encounter his wrath. The Green Lantern is one of our longest standing and most popular superheroes, and issues from the initial 1940s run demands a premium when they do come up for sale. As we all know, no more original copies can ever be printed of any. As we all know, no more original copies can ever be printed of any Grail Golden Age comic book. Further, we don't really have a clear idea of how many raw copies may still exist for any of these important comics. There are copies still lying around in the attics to be found, maybe. How many graded copies disappear into the hands of collectors, never to be offered for sale again? The data continues to show whenever the truly rarest of rare comics come up for sale, and they seem to keep rising in value. About 1 year ago, a CGC 4.0 Green Lantern number 1 sold for a record at the time of $10,000. Last week, we saw a 3.0 sell for an astonishing $13,000.
Damn!
One grade lower, but $3,000 more. Wow. How much would someone be willing to pay for that 4.0 copy now? Maybe we'll find out. If we do, we'll be sure to let you all know.
Big sale for a 3.0, dude. But again, you're going back to 1941 with this one. Obviously, it's not the first appearance, guys. First appearance, you're looking at All American Comics issue 16, but still very impressive. You were just saying the numbers, Gabe, and this is a pretty high sale for this 3.0.
I think that's a pretty fair price or something like that. Like $13,000 is a lot of money, but continue, when you compare that to any other comic book of DC, like a Superman or a Batman from this time frame, it would be crazy, crazy expensive. Just Green Lantern unfortunately, doesn't really quite have that prominence like Batman or Superman or even Wonder Woman does, or maybe even Flash. Like, man, I love Green Lantern. It's one of my favorite DC characters, but man, he's treated like Harry Potter and lives underneath the stairs in the house kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's really unfortunate because I mean, just the idea that somebody could construct hard light, it's such a cool concept, right? I've always really liked the Green Lantern, and I've always been a huge fan of even the Golden Age Green Lantern. It is a little weird that if the Green Lantern is fighting there, would use the wood handle of the sword to attack Alan Scott instead of the blade, he'd probably have more success. But I digress. This is an awesome, awesome book. I've always liked the look of the classic Green Lantern. And I like how the more modern writers have kind of integrated the Alan Scott Green Lantern into the new Green Lantern mythos.
Yeah, and it's funny because when we look at Green Lantern, dude, the amount of people who have like held that mantle as Green Lantern is just amazing. And I could see here you got Cliff in the chat saying Alan Scott. Yeah, man, you go back, you think. Of course, like Alan Scott, Gardner, which everybody's excited for because of the James Gunn movie. I don't think the movie had anything to do with the sale. This is just an amazing book to have in your collection. If you have the money to throw at it, of course, then yeah, this is awesome.
Is Alan Scott supposed to be in the Superman movie?
No,
it's Gardner.
Gardner is.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Warrior?
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
No. No, we don't.
Love it. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that, man. Really do. Yeah, it was great talks. But guys, Green Lantern #1 by DC back from 1941 had a top sale for a CGC 3.0 for a very impressive $13,200. Chris,
real quick, one last thing about this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to shout it out because it's important. I think this is a Bill Finger comic book.
really?
Yeah.
Bill Finger did the script for this book, and we all know the tragic story of Bill Finger. So it just I looked it up real quick. I was like, who's the writer and the artist on this? Oh, Bill Finger did the writing on this, and that's awesome. That's great. He has his fingers in so much comic books that nobody really knows about. So I
see what you did there, Gabe, and my God.
I don't think you meant to do that. I think it was.
I always meant to do that.
Love it. All right, let's move it on to Shaker #3. Chris, what do we have?
We have Invincible #115 by Image Comics in 2014. Do you want to know why those Battle Beast blind bags went so bananas, or why the Battle Beast hype train is out of control? That was cemented right here in this book. This issue marks the meeting of Battle Beast and the Grand Regent Thrag, with a cover to match the hype, and their subsequent mega fight. This battle would go on to last for 5 issues, culminating in issue #120. Thrag was the winner, but the community walked away in distress, mostly because Battle Beast was so badass, and he was gone. That is, until he made his return recently. Still, this was a relatively under-the-radar book until that hype train got going again. For perspective, this book was around 125 to 150 for a CGC 9.8 for years until they announced the return of Battle Beast, and then it got cooking. Sales are starting to heat up, crossing the 275 threshold in April before hitting 300 in May, and now an all-time new high of $375 to kick off June. What is surprising is that there are a whopping 132 copies on the CGC census at a 9.8 grade. Relatively, the market should be pretty flush, but this book is a great example of how hype and follow-up from publishers can shift the market in the blink of an eye. The love for Battle Beast is only growing as he reaches more new members of the comic book community, driven to this title by the popularity of the Amazon TV show. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this book. It's definitely the cat's meow.
Not bad. Not bad. $375. Again, not our first appearance, but I, look, whether we want to admit it or not, whether you like these blind bags or not, it did create buzz. It created buzz. Invincible's show has created buzz. A lot of hype, a lot of love, and look, it's trickled into here. We've got Invincible books getting some love. Battle Beast. I like seeing this.
This is such a great series. We were talking about it in the chat where it's like everybody's focusing right now on Battle Beast when there's other things,
Oh yeah.
other characters, other events that I don't think people are ready for. That's going to happen in later seasons of the show.
Yep.
That would probably be a fun idea to kind of look into and start picking up those issues.
Yep.
There is so much that happens in Invincible. We've seen nothing yet in the cartoon. I'm gonna do a book club of Invincible and just read. I have all 12 hardcovers. I want to read that from beginning to end. I want to do a book club for this book. It's so great.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. But Gabe, you and like you said, we were talking in our chat about some Invincible stuff. You brought up one particular book, one character as well that I think would just send people shook. Should that happen on animated, right? On
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will happen on animated.
And I think Amazon, because it's going to be an extremely controversial. Like, there's going to be a lot of talk if they do it, and I believe Amazon won't blink. They won't flinch. I think we'll actually see it happen.
Yeah,
I would like to. I'm hoping, but if they do, oh boy, are those books going to explode, and are people going to start talking?
Yep, exactly. I don't want to say the name just because we just might get the entire show flagged. But besides that, guys, nonetheless, Invincible's getting some love. And as you can see, Invincible 115 by Image back from 2014 had a top sale in a CGC 9.8 for $375. Not too shabby. Gabe, probably your least favorite book on the list, but you're going to do it anyways. Let's go.
I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it with love and enthusiasm for everybody in the chat and for all the fun. Just to be able to talk about comic books. That's all that matters. Number 4, it's Jeff. The Garuru regular cover from 2023. Everyone's favorite land shark is back. It's not everybody's favorite land shark. Come on. It's Jeff number 1. It's Jeff number 1 may no longer be trending on the weekly top 10. Well, don't let that fool you. Jeff is still making waves in the aftermarket. I love the writers on this, man. They love to put in the puns.
Yep.
This quirky, dialogue-free debut captured hearts from the start, driven by the adorable art from Garuru and the breakout popularity of Jeff, first introduced in West Coast Avengers. While the book saw a healthy stream of raw sales through 2023 and 2024, it wasn't until recently that graded copies started to swim into deeper waters. There they go again. Good job. Before 2025, there hadn't been a single recorded 9.8 slab sale above $100. Well, that has drastically changed over the past month with 4, count them, 4 new highs. May 4th was $126. May 31st, $125. June 1st, $135 for June 1st. And now on June 3rd, a record-breaking sale of $149. The cherry on top of all that, a brand new all-time high of $200 for a CGC 9.8, confirming that Jeff isn't just a novelty character anymore. He's becoming a blue chip hold for fans and collectors alike. With 369 raw and 27 slab sales, Jeff's staying power is undeniable. Despite plenty of copies being available, the demand continues to rise, a rarity in today's saturated market. Jeff may be small, but his impact is mighty. Jabberjaw, for the record, is the best land shark.
Oh,
he has a band and he drives around in a doom buggy.
That's fair. With all the puns you were making, I thought you were going to say that, with all those sales, clearly the book is swimming up creek. It made a splash on the aftermarket. Like, geez, there was so many puns. Good job, cover price. But yeah, no, dude, look, I love Jeff. I saw somebody in the chat say Dupe would take Jeff all day. Yeah, Dupe kicks Jeff's ass.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, man. Dupe is.
Yeah, but Jeff has got the Grogu effect. I mean, you
does.
can't deny it, man. It's
He
just
does.
it's all about selling toys, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm just happy to see that he's like. It's funny because the timing of this definitely, I would say that Marvel Rivals played a big hand in a lot of the love that Jeff is getting. But even prior to that, like, dude, you go back, you read the Gwenpool stuff and all of that. I really hope people enjoy the actual character from the reads, because the reads are fun with Jeff. You know what I mean? Like when Jeff is present, it is a good time. But with Marvel Rivals, as I said, I really think that gave Jeff a huge push. And it's very interesting to see that even this one is getting this type of love on the aftermarket. And this is a book that just recently dropped, guys. We're looking at like a little less than 2 years ago. So very impressive. Very impressive. His first appearance is still holding very well as well on the aftermarket. So with that being said, it's Jeff number 1, the Guri Hiru regular Marvel 2023 book right here had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $200. Chris, we're at the halfway mark. Talk to us.
Yeah, we are at the halfway mark. So if you guys have not done it already, please go down to that bell icon, and I want you to perform a fatality on it, because it is good to know when Cover Prize goes live. Hit that subscribe button. Give us the thumbs up or give us a thumbs down. I don't care. You do you. But comment down below. Maybe we can talk about what your favorite cover of the night was and why the correct answer is Animaniacs number 10. All right.
Why a fatality and not a friendship on that button?
I see what you did.
Or a babality.
Babality. Oh, God.
Because it's Mortal Kombat. And fatality is the only right answer. Oh man, Mortal Kombat. Talk about another theme song that I yo-yoed to back in the 90s. My goodness. Mortal Kombat Onslaught number 1 by DC Comics in 2023. This was initially released as a digital-only comic available for free to the DC Universe Infinite subscribers. It served as a prequel to the term-based mobile that should be team-based mobile RPG Mortal Kombat Onslaught, developed by NetherRealm Studios. The game launched on October 17th, 2023, marking a notable departure from the franchise's traditional one-on-one fighting format. The Sub-Zero games don't count. To promote the release of NetherRealm and the WB games, invited select gaming content creators to private preview conference call to walk them through the gameplay. As a thank you for attending, the WB Games surprised participants by mailing them a super rare physical copy of the Onslaught comic, delivered in a sealed padded envelope and accompanied by a thank you featuring a card with Raiden on it. This print edition was never sold at retail or publicly announced, making copies virtually unknown even among hardcore Mortal Kombat collectors. And if it was shipped in a bubble mailer, getting something beyond a VF has got to be really rare. Mortal Kombat Onslaught ultimately struggled to retain players and was removed from app stores on July 22nd, 2024. Making it only a 9-month team-based mobile RPG. Officially shut down in October 2024, just shy of its 1-year anniversary. Despite the game's short life, it did produce one super rare comic book, which the first publicly available copy finally surfaced, fetching $199 for near mint raw. That might be a little low. While that price may seem steep, given the incredibly low awareness, the confirmed scarcity, and the very hard to get in good condition, $199 might prove to be a bargain. I'm going to agree with that. I think that if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, this is a get if you can get it for under $250. Time will tell how this low-profile collectible is valued in the years ahead. I tell you, it only takes one good Mortal Kombat movie to make the entire IP just skyrocket.
We've had Mortal Kombat movies. We've had 3 good movies.
I said good. Good.
3 excellent movies.
Well, those are passable movies. I'm talking about a good movie.
It's so funny because I watched the first Mortal Kombat last night. I had no idea this was going to make the list prior to watching it. So, yeah, it was so enjoyable, man.
The second one is so ridiculous. It's awesome.
I know.
So much.
They take it to a whole other level, dude.
The movies are fun. I'm not going to disagree with that, but they're far from good. And I think the problem is that the writers and directors are trying to cram so much into that 95-minute presentation, when really, if they just slow down and just make it a trilogy, just or make it an HBO episodic thing, I think you could have a lot more higher quality entertainment if you do something like that.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm with F Keys, though. I do like the old movies better than the new one. I didn't like that the new one was centered around some new character that nobody cared about. Like, I haven't even seen this guy in video games. But speaking video games, guys, Mortal Kombat Onslaught was a mobile video game that you could have played on your phone via Android, iOS, whatever. And I had no idea they even came out with this as a comic book. So I'm kind of taken back by this. This is an impressive sale for just a raw near mint plus copy.
Yeah, these are cool when it's just like, hey, you get a free comic book for like playing this game. Like that's these kind of cool mellow way that you have to kind of be in the know, right? That's going to be one of the reasons why these things are going to be so hard to find, because it's the major fans, it's the major Mortal Kombat fans that are keeping these books in their collection.
Hell yeah,
and never letting go of them.
Exactly, man. Derek's saying that he bets I play as Sonya Blade. Nah, man. It depends which one we're playing, guys. Because like I like using Raiden, I like Scorpion, I even like Rain, I like Sub-Zero. I could go on forever, man.
You're a sweeping kick spammer, aren't you?
No, I'm not. But if
literally fighting words.
If I'm Scorpion, I'm doing the opposite punch that when he jumps through like the back end and then just like hits you from behind. I'm gonna do that over and over until I piss you off. But amazing to see this on the list, guys.
More controllers thrown than any other game.
Oh, absolutely. You know what, man? I know we're talking about the movies, but guys, if you play the recent video games, like the last few, the storylines within that is just it's amazing. That is movie ready. Like you can just copy that and just make it a movie. It would be amazing. But
they got a legacy collection coming out. That's supposed to be like all the video games on one.
Yep. They just announced that, man.
And not just that, but you guys remember when they did Mortal Kombat versus like DC Universe?
Yeah.
And the DC characters couldn't really do like too many fatalities. I mean, like the bad guys did like Joker and stuff like that, but Batman couldn't. But that was dope because the cover was done by Alex Ross. Like that was a fun kind of collaboration there.
I love how we could talk about this forever, but we'll speed it up, guys. We promise. Mortal Kombat Onslaught #1 by DC back from 2023 had a top sale for a raw near mint plus copy at $199. Now, Gabe, what do we have next?
All right, coming up next is Nightwalker's #1 Savina Shabina variant. Are these real names or are these made up names tonight?
No, Sveta's real.
Okay. Savita Shabina variant. This is a Comic Boards Inc. limited to 250 copies from Source Point. Savina Shabina is one of the hottest names in the comic book medium currently. She has been featured multiple times on both of our top 10 and the Shaker Report. She seems to burst on the scene with her variant cover for the first issue of Pin Apocalypse, and each cover release since has also been a success on the aftermarket. As word of mouth has spread and popularity has grown, collectors begin to seek out her earlier released covers. While she only has a few to collect, lucky for those trying to collect them all, the first 2 covers have shot up in value. We featured her variant for Curse of the Cleaver County here just a few weeks ago, and this week we move on to her first published work, which is her variant cover for Nightwalker's #1. This book was readily available on her own site up until a few weeks ago. It has since sold out, and this past week it set an all-time high when a raw dog near mint copy went for $300.
Wow. That's huge. That's a big sale.
Yeah, this keeps happening. You see an artist with a successful book on the top 10, repeatedly on the top 10. I mean, we've seen Pentapocalypse for like the last 6 weeks on the top 10 pretty much.
Yeah.
Of course her first work is going to get some attention. You got this is one of those things that you don't even need to read the tea leaves. You just need to open your eyes. Whenever you see an artist on the top 10 repeatedly get featured, go look at their first work, because that might be an opportunity to make a good flip and score some extra cash to plus up your collection.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Just the other night I was throwing some flowers, giving flowers to Laura and Anthony over at Bird City, and I don't say this because they're considered family to us here. The real reason why I'm saying this is on a collector perspective. I was not familiar with Sveta Shubina up until the moment that I started to see exclusives and the ratios. And the exclusives I was seeing, I saw, Bird City starting to do some posts. And I was like, wow, okay, this art is really neat. I want to know more about this artist. And here we have, Shubina's like dominating the top 10 charts this year, doing some pretty impressive things. And we keep seeing her art making her, its way over on the top 10. And now, of course, like you said, Chris, we've said this many times when we come across artists that get this type of attention. Remember, we were talking about this with Mark Spears. Mark Spears had his books starting to pop off. One of the first things you said is, guys, try to go find some of his first work, because that, is only, it's inevitable for it to follow suit, right? It's going to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. But anyways, guys, Nightwalker's #1, Sveta Shubina variant, Comic Boards Inc. that was limited to 250 copies and printed by SourcePoint back in 2023, had a top sale for a raw near mint at $300. Nostalgia's going to kick everybody in the you-know-what in just a second with Shaker #7. So, Chris, what do we got?
Well, don't have a cow, man. This is Simpsons Comics and Stories #1. The Butterfinger Ash Can by Welsh Publishing Group in 1993. Way back in 1993, my freshman year of high school, Simpsons Comics and Stories #1 marked a pivotal moment for the fans of The Simpsons, introducing the beloved animated family to the world of comics. This one-shot issue, often referred to as the Butterfinger Ash Can Edition, nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger Ash Can Edition, was published by Welsh Publishing Group as a promo giveaway, distributed exclusively with 6 full-size Nestle Butterfinger bars. Notably, this issue served as the final installment of Simpsons Illustrated, a companion magazine to the TV show before Bongo Comics, the publisher of the Simpsons comics, took over. Despite being published by Welsh, the creative team included familiar names such as Steve Vance on script, layout, and inks, Cindy Vance as co-plot and colorist, Bill Morris as inks and artist, Mike Anderson as inks, and Matt Groening's signature touch. Recently, the Butterfinger Ash Can Edition reached a record-breaking value of $500 for a CGC 9.8 rating, notable for its potential as the first comic appearance of The Simpsons, having been released before the full-size issue was available. And I'm sure that that CGC 9.8 had a few grease stains on it. Importantly, this comic was produced in both standard and special collector's editions, the latter of which included the Bartman poster. The release not only launched The Simpsons into comic book medium, but also laid the groundwork for Mongo Comics' success, cementing its culture and collectible significance for years to come. All right, so we need to talk about what differentiates this from the commercially available one, and there are a few minor clues, right? The first is that that barcode in the lower right hand corner on the regular newsstand. It's going to be just a bit different, and then of course on the direct there is no barcode, and also I believe that I think that's really one of the only ways to tell. $295 versus $250. That's the other way to tell the price on the comic.
Yeah. Gabe, what do you have to say about this?
I think this is awesome. I would like to buy one, but I only would want one that has the 6 Butterfingers included with it, or else it's not complete.
Yeah. Who doesn't want Butterfingers? But honestly, what I find impressive about this, guys, is this here is the ash can. Okay, I get it. $500 CGC 9.8. But if you get the regular in a 9.8, like just a regular direct that had come out available to everybody, you're hovering around the $200 mark for a CGC 9.8. And I think that is relatively low, man, for a first comic appearance of The Simpsons. Do you guys not think so?
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's that seems fairly fair. It seems gettable. $250 is not, something that's super expensive and out of like normal reach. Like if you're a Bart Simpson fan, comic book fan, Simpsons fan, or even a Butterfinger fan, $250 is not that bad for like a really nice copy. Like there's nice copies of these on eBay right now for pretty cheap. Of course, it's not going to be the best condition in the world because it was, mail order with a bunch of candy bars. But this is, I might say this is a piece of history because of how big, how important, how ingrained The Simpsons, at least, when we were growing up, that was daytime. That was appointment TV, as they used to say, where every day after school or at 7 o'clock at night, it was time to watch The Simpsons.
Amen.
It was good and hilarious.
Exactly, dude. I've seen Futurama books sell for more than what the actual first appearance of The Simpsons goes for, which is always very mind-blowing. But anyways, let's move on from Simpsons because, guys, Simpsons comics and stories. Number 1, the Butterfinger Ash Can by Welsh Publishing Group back from 1993 had a top sale in a CGC 9.8 for $500. Now, guys, there's almost 100 of you watching live, so thank you all for coming to hang out with myself, with Gabe, with Chris. Don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, show us some love, because Gabe is about to take it away with Shaker number 8.
All right, Shaker number 8. I'm sure Michael Baker would be happy to see this because him and I like Spawn. And this is Spawn 290. This is the blank cover from 2018. So Todd McFarlane co-founded Image Comics with the intent of giving creators more control. His creation Spawn has become a massive success, probably the biggest success out of Image Comics, blending horror and heroism and solidifying his legacy in both independent and mainstream comic book history. Well, in 2018, Todd gave a very limited and exclusive blank cover out to his employees. The cover was blank, but most employees opted to have the Todd father sign their copies. The majority of these copies never left the personal collections of these employees, making this variant extremely rare. However, a total blank, no signature copy was submitted to CBCS and received a 9.8 grade. This is the first and only recorded sale of this book showing up on cover price. Recently, that 9.8 copy sold for a cold $2,000. $2,000.
That's nuts.
Yep.
That is nuts.
Yep.
Those Spawn fans, man, they don't care. They'll pay the money to get these cool items in their collection.
Yeah, I know they're hardcore. But I mean,
Yeah, Chris is speechless, man. I love it.
He can't wrap his brain around this.
no.
Guys, this is key right here. It's the rarity, and this is something that Michael Baker and myself have been talking about for months, because as he said earlier in the chat, I don't know if you guys caught it, but yes, this book actually sat on eBay for like over a year, and Baker's been keeping an eye on this like heavily. Obviously, I'm thinking partially because he wanted it, but also to see what it would sell for. And this CBCS copy going for $2,000, it's finally somebody bit and made that purchase. And again, it comes down to the scarcity. It comes down to it being rare as hell. There's other blank covers that came out from Spawn as well, with the scarcity behind it, etc. And it's not the first time I see Spawn books, even one that is completely blank, sell for an impressive number, man. This is huge. Absolutely huge, Gabe.
This happens a lot with Spawn books. Not a lot with Spawn books, but anytime Tom McFarlane does like a giveaway for Spawn books, he usually signs them, right? But I mean, if you find one that he doesn't sign, those ones just skyrocket in price.
Yeah.
Like he does this at retailer conventions and stuff like that. Like, he'll sit there and sign the books for you. I've been to a Diamond retailer con, and he did that for us.
Yeah.
But you find the ones where he doesn't sign them, those things explode in price.
Absolutely.
But I would like to see whoever bought this. I'd be curious if they will meet Todd, get him to sign this, resubmit it to CGC, and get a yellow label signed.
Yeah.
If that's going to make a difference at all, or what? Because it's a whole like signed, witness, not witness, blank kind of scenario here, right?
Get the slab signed and then submit the slab to CGC.
Oh my god.
Blanket.
But then you got to resubmit that and get that one
grading inception going on.
Dear Lord. But guys, Spawn 290, a blank cover by Image in 2018, had a top sale for a CBCS 9.8 at $2,000. Now, if you thought that one knocked your socks off, buckle up, guys. Hang tight, because this next sale is monstrous.
All right. This is Uncanny X-Men number 244, a book I am sure almost everybody in this chat has. But what you don't have is this baby in a 9.9. Marvel Comics released this in 1989. The last time this book hit the market as a CGC 9.9, it sold for over $3,000. But guess what? That exact copy resurfaced recently and sold for double the original price, at an all-time high of $5,999. And this is just 4 months later. This is a classic flip and ship. What makes this book so rare? When you compile the totals across all the categories: Universal, Qualified, Signature Series, CGC, JSA, Restored, you name it. There are 7,000, just over 7,000 graded copies of this book in existence. However, this is the only 9.9, rendering a unicorn in the comic book world. Not only is this hard to find in good condition, this is a 9.9 for a 1989 comic. Now, cover price typically refrains from spotlighting 9.9s and 10s just because they're high grades, but what makes this important is that we did cover this 4 months ago. It did sell for $3,000 4 months ago, and then just recently, the exact same one sold for $6,000. Additionally, this is the first key of Jubilee's first appearance. I don't think that has anything to do with the buyer. I believe that they are looking for a 9.9 on X-Men that dates pre-1990, and that is the only reason why it sold for this much. Also, this is Psylocke's worst costume.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you one bit. I'll let Gabe take this one away. Gabe.
I saw this on some other show recently. I wonder who. I can't remember where though. Oh wait, that was your show, Lando. You were talking about this with Laura on Sunday before we got on.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if there's a market out there's people out there who just look for like 9.9s and 10s and just buy them, and that's more or less what this is. First appearance of Jubilee, even a 9.9, $6,000 is crazy town.
Yeah,
that's $6,000. You know how many awesome variants on books that you will never read you can buy with $6,000? Come on.
Yeah,
that's crazy though. Like this is out of control. This is crazy town. But what an interesting sell though. Either way, I think that's kind of the idea behind this. This is a cool talking point.
It is, and it's very impressive. Look, the main reason why I hate this book is because it saved a lot of people from the O for Abyss in our chat. That's the problem. But besides that, no, look, CGC 9.9 selling at $6,000 is very impressive coin, especially with what Chris was just saying, how not too long ago, guys, like this actually hit the market, and now it's sold for nearly double. It sold for it is double. It sold for 3,000 prior. You're at 6,000 now for this 9.9. So it goes to show you kind of what Gabe was saying, that yes, there are people that do try to collect these. This is the only 9.9 copy on the census from when I checked CGC over on Sunday. And yeah, man, Sunday, today, we could talk about this in a year from now. I'm still going to be mind blown over this sale. It is very impressive. And I know people feel indifferent when it comes to characters like Jubilee, so I'll leave it at that. But regardless, somebody loved this enough to spend $6,000 because the Uncanny X-Men 244 by Marvel in 1989 did have a top sale for a CGC 9.9 at $6,000. Gabe, take us home before we get into the Daily Shakers, sir.
All right. Ending out the first part of the show here for the Shakers is Wolverines, with plural, number 2, the Alex Maleev 1 in 25 variant from 2015. Alex Maleev has been in the comic book industry since his work on James O'Barr's The Crow in 1996. Since that time, Maleev has been extremely active in the industry, producing work for Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, and Image. You absolutely have to check out his run on Daredevil with Bendis. It's one of the best ever. Maleev has been featured a few times on the Shaker Report. Most recently, he has produced countless covers that have become highly sought after by collectors. Covers such as Punisher #1, Infamous Iron Man #12, Daredevil 7, and Star Wars 25 have all had varying levels of success on the aftermarket, with some of these covers going for over $100 raw near mint. Another exceptional cover to add to the mix is this great 1 in 25 variant for Wolverines #2. This variant features one of the better Mystique covers you will find. And this past week, one collector paid $169 for a CGC 9.8 graded copy, marking a new all-time high for this book in any grade. This book was also recently highlighted on the Long Story Short YouTube show for having a low number on the census, as well as being fairly undervalued.
Yeah. Shout out to Long Story Short, man. I love the entire crew over there. If you guys aren't checking it out, go check it out over on Nearing Nerdvana's channel. But, man, Maleev did such an amazing cover here with this one.
I love the kind of bouncing skulls all over the place. That's a really cool effect.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure, dude. It's the cover, the artwork. It just Malieve on this one with this 1 in 25, dude. How many people are ordering Wolverines too? Like, let's be honest, man. And you're going back to 2015. Obviously, this book is very hard to come across, and it's a stunning cover. In my opinion, I just think it's wonderful to look at. But Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, it's cool. It's different. I'll say that. I think Wolverines was probably a pretty popular comic because it's one of the recognizable names, right? Wolverines is a recognizable name. I know that the story behind the Wolverines comic, plural, was more complicated than that, but I think there may be more of these out there than the census reflects. And I think the only reason why you don't see more of these is at 9.8 is that people aren't really pulling them out of their collection to submit them. So if this continues to get some high sales, people are going to start noticing the trend. They're going to start getting those graded, and then the prices overall is probably going to drop because I think there are more out there in good condition than we may see just from sales alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this book. I think the cover is amazing. And again, I want to shout out to Long Story Short. You guys can go and check them out over on Nearing Nerdvana. But Wolverines #2, the Alex Malieve variant, which is a 1 in 25 ratio by Marvel back in 2015, had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $169. Now, guys, if you made it to the O for Abyss, well, too bad. Too bad. No, I'm just kidding. We have a chance now to check out what's shaking on the Daily Shaker on Cover Price's website. So if you guys want to see that, stick around. We're going to run through it before we do, though. Chris, we have a tune, do we not?
Yeah, it's there.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, gone. Comic Shaker dropping knowledge, this the real report. Panels flipping brainwaves, selling off the court. eBay bids climbing, wallets big contort. Graphic gods rising, values they escort. Bags and boards, the double knight armor. Golden age relics, sellers getting calmer. Watchmen, clocks ticking, raw great charmer. Comics flipping lives like an alchemist farmer. Spawn creeping shadows, horrorcore delight. Rob rifled pouches, sweeping through the night. Bid wars wilder than Deadpool in a fight. Collectors burn fortune, pages igniting sight. First appearance crazy, Hulk in full rage. Auction hammer slamming price, wars engage. Holographic cover shining like a mage. Collector stacking comics, stacking up a stage. Bags and boards, the double knight armor. Golden age relics, sellers getting calmer. Watchmen, clocks ticking, raw graded charmer. Comics flipping lives like an alchemist farmer. Dark Knight hunting, vigilante cape degree. Venom's black resin, sticky symphony. Comics on eBay breaking economies. Panel shaking hands, history's decree.
Did it say that it's breaking economies? Is that really what I heard there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Breaking economies is its decree.
I love it. But all right, Chris, show us what's shaking on the Daily Shaker.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that for DJ. What's his name again? DJ
Skill Spins.
We're gonna say it as many times as possible so that I remember it and so that you guys know it. DJ Skill Spins, I'm sure, will be happy to replace the AI trope that we've been using. But until then, I will continue generating them. All right, so here is Cover Price. This is who sponsors the show. This is where we get our amazing reads. The team there works very hard, scouring the sales that happen on a daily basis, and they update something called the Daily Shakers list right there. Let's check that out. Now, you too can get access to this if you go to coverprice.com, sign up for the free 5-day trial, and if you like it, maybe subscribe. It's a pretty good value. Less than a McRib per month, as TiVo used to say. So we got a couple of our normal usual suspects here on the top list, but we do see this Black Cat number 50.
That's a
which
wicked
is
cover,
a
dude.
gruesome cover. Shocking horror radiates from White Black Panther. I mean, White Heat.
You're gonna start problems in the chat with that one.
Pretty cool cover. Obviously, this is pre-code horror. This is one of the books that got the pearls clutching in the 1950s soccer moms. But man, that is some crazy radium. He's chewing on radium. Crazy.
Wild.
All right. So keep on going down. I don't think I've seen this one before. This Justice League.
This is League 3. It's a great cover.
It is a great cover. Justice League number 3. It's recently sold in a CGC 9.0. Can you imagine a CGC 9 from 1960? That is some crazy sauce right there. What would Tim used to call that? Tim used to call that some time traveler stuff, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Wayback Machine to get that bad boy.
That's right.
Firing up the DeLorean.
Get that hot tub going. All right, we got.
Click on that Walking Dead. Let's see what's going on with Walking Dead lately.
Sure.
CGC still $2,200. Not bad. It used to be like a $3,000 book.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I think the the lack of TV show is affecting it just a little bit. That's why you're seeing a bit of a slump. But I don't know. They keep on creating those spinoffs, and the spinoffs aren't that bad.
I didn't even pay attention to the spinoff yet, so I'll take your word for it. Maybe give it a shot, but
yeah, give it a shot. It's not that bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad.
And All Star Comics 58 is awesome too. That's a great Jerry Conway book.
Absolutely.
First Power Girl.
Yep. First Prince Power Girl with the boob window.
Yep. Still got that boob window.
Society.
It's terrible that they took that away. They need to bring that thing back.
It's been taken away a few times over the years, hasn't it?
I don't know. If it has been, it's always been a bad idea.
Yeah. Here's Blip number 1. This is technically the first appearance of Donkey Kong and Mario in a comic book.
Yeah, with the all-time worst cover ever.
Yeah. I have an old issue of Blip. I have number.
There you go, Real Fake Comics. Yes, sir.
I have this. I have Blip number 4. No, nothing special about this one, but I've got it.
That Spider-Man cover is way cool, though. I like that Spidey cover.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, Spider-Man plays Spider-Man. I'm sure
he was that crappier Atari.
That's right. Yeah, that game sucked. We got Iron Fist. This is first cover appearance of Sabretooth, right? Not his first appearance, but first cover, right?
No, it's his first appearance. It should be his first appearance.
Okay, yeah. You're right. There was something weird about the Sabretooth. It's like first, second, and third all got a bunch of attention, but they weren't all in a row, if I remember correctly.
I love real quick when Cover Price just finds a random picture of a book online and uses it, because that's like a ratty cover, dude. I love seeing that ratty cover. Look at it, like all these like fingerprints and smudges on it. That's great.
Yep, you see.
I couldn't find a cleaner copy.
Yeah, look at it all over by the hands there.
Some Marvel chipping up here, foxing.
Yeah. Cover Price keeps it real, man. They're keeping it real.
That's a good book too, man. Like first appearance of Sabretooth, like 9.6 for a little over 1,000 is not bad for, was it 1970, 73?
Yep.
Yeah.
77. Okay, I didn't even look. Okay.
A character who is, may see its due when the mutants finally join the MCU.
And he was supposed to be Wolverine's dad, who comes and kills him every year on his birthday. Was kind of the idea that Claremont had for that. Jimmy Olsen 134. Check that out.
Okay.
The quote unquote, this is one of those weird first appearance cameo kind of situations, but for Darkseid.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he just shows up on this little tiny monitor, like second to last page or one of the last pages of the book. Just a tiny, tiny little picture of him on a monitor. And there's nothing cooler than a bunch of bikers, carrying Superman on the cover.
That's funny.
What is he driving back there? What is that?
It's the Jimmy Olsen mobile.
Jimmy Olsen's compensating for something. All right. We got another pre-code. Space Action number 2. Look at this thing. This is some cool stuff.
Blonde in a red dress.
Yeah, it is. Blonde in a red dress. Yeah.
I love that reflection in that kind of reflection look they put in there. That's cool.
Yeah.
That Tommy Farland Spider-Man number 1 Platinum is awesome. That's a book that I think I've only held in my hand once in my life. Like of all the books I've ever sorted through and everything else, that thing is nasty. I never see that book anywhere.
So what's this? How was this out there? I mean, in what way was this available? Because I know that there were a couple versions of the green ones that were polybagged and sold in different ways.
I want to say this was a early thank you variant kind of thing to retailers.
Yeah,
so like one per store, they ordered like a butt ton amounts of Spider-Man number 1.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is behind this, but it's definitely
it was a thank you. It was a thank you thing for one per store.
That makes sense because there's no price on it.
No,
right?
There's nothing on it.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Hey, first Rocket Raccoon. I got this. I got 2 of them actually.
In a comic though, do we factor the magazine?
I don't think we factor the magazine.
No? Okay.
Depends. Is it in my collection or not? That's what it depends on.
that seems to be the general consistency with anything to do with first appearance, kind of fudging the lines. It's like, do I own it or not? That's all that really matters.
Exactly.
What side of the fence am I on this one? Yeah, but I have this in newsstand and direct. And it's funny because I picked them up unintentionally. They were just in a lot. Both of them were in 2 separate lots of comics, and I got them within a month of each other. It was pretty crazy.
Oh, speaking of first appearance nonsense, there's that not first appearance of Wolverine there.
It's always inevitable as a conversation.
It is the first Wolverine. Let's see what
that's what you have in your collection. I get it. That's right.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Oh, I love this 1 in 25, man. Oh my god,
dude. I racked this book when I was working at Torpedo.
Really?
What's interesting? It was the week we had a signing at our store with Matthew Rosenberg. If anybody remembers Matthew Rosenberg,
yeah.
And when we did the signing, it was the same week that this book came out. Matthew Rosenberg's like representatives was like, can we bring this other guy with us? He's kind of new on the scene. He has a book out this week. He's taking over Thanos from Jeff Lemire. And we were like, yeah, sure. Bring him on. That's cool. And it was Donnie Cates. So we had him at the store when like he was nobody, because this is the book that really kind of blew him up afterwards.
Yep.
But it was like one of those fun things where I racked this 1 in 25. We had a few of them. And it has now since become an infamous book. It's been an infamy. Like, it's such a cool book. Hard to find. Always super expensive. Love this book cover.
Yeah. Gabe, you know what you did though, right?
Drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't used that in a long, long time.
Oh man. This is a gorgeous cover.
I love it.
I love it.
And you get the first appearance of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, so like it's just a wonderful book. I love the cover so much. Hit the ASM 19 as Zombie Prophet is asking us to do right here.
ASM 19, where was that?
Slow down.
It's the Rhino issue, right?
Go up.
No, it's 40.
41?
No, he said 19. I was wrong. Excuse me.
Jeez, I don't know. I'm blind. I will find it. I will find it and pull it up. Okay. I will find it and pull it up.
Yeah, I'm seeing 15. I don't see 19. It says a little up.
Oh, it's that one cool Steve Ditko cover. It's the one where he's like flying through like a bunch of webbings.
There.
Much
When in
easier.
doubt, just look it up, man. Good job.
Very fair.
This is cool. Yeah, I like this. This is
Dicko.
Was this a Marvel Tales reprint? Not this one, but was this cover reprinted in Marvel Tales? I want to say
I believe you're correct. Yeah, it does look familiar for that.
Appearance of the new Scorpion. So,
Well, it just appears of Matt Gargan before he becomes Scorpion.
yeah. This is a 9.0 recently sold just a few days ago for almost $1,000.
That's still a good price. That's any Silver Age like in a 9.0, like a legit like near mintish is that's a good price for something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Not
exactly.
not a super cool first appearance key, but still.
Yeah. F keys. Unless I missed something, is Thanos 13 not the first appearance of Cosmic Ghost Rider? That book exploded.
I think he's talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 25, the Jim Valentino era. Had a Cosmic Ghost Rider-ish character on it. Not the same character, but cool enough.
Yeah.
So these are, I just filtered. I filtered to only show all-time highs because sometimes you get some pretty cool and unexpected things there. You are a guy. We've been talking about this last couple weeks. I brought it up a few times. 9.8s in low demand books, but are still cool covers. If they're from the 70s and 80s, that is some money right there. And we're seeing it evidence again. You had a 9.8 sold for like this the unexpected, right? Sold for $408. I mean, nobody is targeting this book for any reason.
Nope.
Because it's it's a $5 book on its best day, but in a 9.8, man, you are gonna get some cash. Let's see here. We got another story, same thing, same story with Weird War. Any of these, any 9.6s or 9.8s of these old books in the 70s and 80s, you're looking good because you can flip those for some good money.
Yeah,
this is an amazing cover.
Yeah,
an amazing cover. As a fisherman, I'm digging this.
I love it. Yeah, well done. It's actually the first time I see that cover.
Yeah, it's a key too. What is the key on this? I missed it when it came up.
Is it a key?
First appearance of Aquaboy. Yeah, look at that.
Neat.
Wearing Aquaman's pajamas. And my favorite Mark Spears cover. I do not own it. I wish I had it.
This book keeps going up. Michael Baker, I hope you're watching right now.
This is an amazing cover. I would get this as a poster. It's absolutely gorgeous. Mark Spears, Mr. Spears. I know you watch every now and then.
That's what you need to do with some of these variant covers: is make prints, make posters, put them on T-shirts, stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, look, we got WWE book ratio on the Shakers list.
Yeah, man, that Alexa Bliss.
Another one. Look at that! Holy crap,
guys! The ratios from that run by Boom, like they ain't cheap, man. They are not.
Cheap. Even look at that Demon 16. That's a 9.8. Look at that. That's still crazy. 169 is pretty cool, but just again a 9.8 or like an old school Jack Kirby book.
Yeah, condition and the release. That's it. You know what it's all about.
Wicked.
All right, so I think that's okay. You know what? I'm gonna highlight Michael Turner before we call it a day.
Hey, you can't pass up the darkness.
Michael Turner, man.
The lady pile up.
I love his work, dude. It's
dude.
I remember when they announced that he died, dude. It crushed. I was crushed.
No kidding.
Just because of the situation, and they try to like replace his hip with like coral and cool stuff like that. It just cancer would get you.
Cancer sucks.
Yep, absolutely.
Screw cancer. All right. And if you want to say screw cancer, then you can go on Cover Price and donate to Comics for Kids. They will put comic books into the hands of kids who are in the hospital battling some sort of illness or disease like cancer. And by all means, please, if you find yourself with an extra $6 that you feel that you can donate, go to Cover Price, click that link in the banner, and donate now to Comic Books for Kids. None of that money goes to Cover Price. It all goes to kids to get them comics so that they can read comics in the hospital.
Yep. I think this is amazing. So shout out to Cover Price and everybody involved in getting this together because, yeah, man, it's awesome to see that. It's awesome to see that. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Of course, we brought you the Shakers. If you made it to the O for Abyss, we're sorry, but not sorry because, yeah, we do this every week with bringing you to the O for Abyss. And I get to do this every week with some of the best guys that I know, at least. Gabe, Chris. Right. Yeah. But yeah, Gabe, take it away. There's a freaking mosquito here, man. What the hell?
Don't push him over here. What are you doing?
But yeah, Gabe. Take it away.
Again, everybody, thanks so much for showing up with us, hanging out, talking cool comics. That's what this is all about. If you want to see Lando and Laura talk more about that X-Men, that Uncanny 244 9.9, go watch Lando's show. Check out the Sunday show. Well, stay tuned after they talk about that book when Chris and I and Marty show up. We talk and we have a fun time. So
yeah,
that out. Thanks again.
That.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Gabe. Yeah, thank you. Guys, definitely come sub on the Black Crown Comics YouTube channel. I go live every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. But every week it's a rotating guest. So you never know who's going to pop up. And we do have some things up our sleeve. I will leave it at that. That's it. I'm not saying
but
anything
you don't
else.
have sleeves. You don't have sleeves, Lando.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But Chris, take it away, sir.
Gabe, thank you so much for pinch hitting for Marty. Anytime we have you is a joy. I appreciate it. And thanks to you all. Thank you all in the chat for hanging out with us, talking comics. This is one of the highlights of the week for me. I always look forward to this. I have a good time every time. And it's always fun to see what's shaking. So thank you guys so much. And you know what? Keep buying collections, keep digging in the dollar bins. And as TiVo used to say, keep digging those long boxes.
Perfect sign off. I'm going to leave it at that. Guys, have yourselves a great week, man. We'll catch you next week. Don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment below if you're catching the replay. Nothing but love. See you guys. Adios.
For the entire crew, this is T-Bo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.